Alright, guys, welcome back to the course. So this was where we stopped in the last video. We are just checking if the password is empty or not. Now the next thing I'm going to do here, I will have to go back to the database here. So let's quickly go to localhost /php my admin. Okay, we're going to add manually add the username and a password for the admin. We're going to add that manually because we are not creating a login a registration form for admin, so we just have to add that information manually there. Okay, all right, still loading. Good. So let's locate the database for the application very quickly, and this is result checking here, database we are working with. Okay, now I'm going to click on the admin table. I'm going to click on the admin table, and as you can see, we don't have any record inside yet. Okay, so what we have to do at this level is to click on insert. So we're going to click on insert, and at this place, we're going to username, we're going to add admin, just admin username, and password we're going to add, just call it admin123. Then we click on go. We click on go. Okay, now back to browse. Back to browse. So as you can see, we have a record now, admin username, and password is admin123. So we can go back to our editor now. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the function.php file and create a function again to check for the login. Okay, so it's going to check for login, and we're going to use this both for the okay, we're going to use this basically for admin first of all, and I think we can also use it for the student dashboard, the student aspect too, when they're logging in. Okay, so but for now I'm just going to comment here. I'll say okay, function to check for or to validate admin logins. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to create function, and I'm going to call it login check. That's the name of the function. So login check, and it's going to take 3 different variables. It's going to take the connection to database, and it's going to take the username, okay, of the person or the admin, and lastly the password. So there are 3 things or 3 parameters that it's going to take. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a variable with the name SQL. That's a query that will hold our query. Then what we're going to do here is we're going to select all from admin table. Okay, select all from admin table where username is equals to the username. So add the where clause here, username is equals to the username that admin, the variable, will be giving us. Okay, so that's the query. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do here is to query the database now. I'm going to create a variable for that called query, and I'm going to be using my SQLi underscore query. Okay, remember this takes 2 parameters. It takes the connection, and also it takes the query string itself. And remember, we are storing that in a variable called SQL. So the next thing I'm going to do is open an if statement here to check for the success or failure of the query. So I'm going to say if query, that means if the query was successful, then we are going to do a few things here. So first of all, I'm going to create another variable called result to hold about some of the values we're going to be using. So result will be equals to my SQLi underscore fetch array. I'm going to fetch the information from the database if the query succeeds. So fetch array, and what you are fetching is query. Okay, so now the next thing here, I'm going to create a variable called db username, and I'm going to set that to results, and the field I'm looking for there is username. Okay, remember this is an associative array, so the value stays inside a quotation. We are fetching as an associative array. Right, now the next thing I'm going to do here is to open another if statement again inside the existing if statement that we have. So if username, alright, is equal to if username is equal to db username, that's if username admin is typing equals the username that we are getting from the database, which is this one here, then that means there's a record found. Then the next thing we do here is to check if the password that the admin is entering matches the password that we have for admin in the database. So check if password matches. That's the next thing we want to do. So here we're going to fetch the db from the database using the variable db pass to be set to results password. Now this one is the password that we stored in database, so we are fetching it. Okay, then we're going to write another variable, another if statement here. We're really using a lot of if statements here. I apologize for that. So if password, which is the password the admin will be entering, is equals to db pass, then we're going to return true. Okay, we allow login, return true. Now else, if the password does not match what we have in the database, we're going to return false. We're going to return false there. Okay, all right. So okay, we're also going to add an else statement here in case the query was not successful. So we're going to just return false here. Can spell false. Okay, we'll just return false. What is this? Missing return statement. Let me cut this out first of all, so that I can see where the issue is coming from. Okay, this is really fine. So we don't even need this anyway. We don't need this. I can just get rid of this. It's not that important. Without to return any false there. It doesn't matter. So let's quickly go back to our index of PHP file we are working with earlier. So this time around, I'm going to continue with the validation. Let's continue our validation. So we're going to say x if. Now we are going to bring in this particular function we created. Remember, the function is login check, and login check takes 3 parameters. The first is connection, the next is username, and the last one is password. So this time around we are going to add an exclamation point here to do the opposite. Okay, so now what this means is if this particular function does not validate to truth, okay, we're going to return an error here. But if it validates to true, then we allow the user to log in. Remember here we are setting that before the user can be logged in, this has to return true. So if this does not return true, that's what this exclamation mark is saying here. So if the function does not return true, then we don't want the user to log into the system. Okay, so here I'm going to copy this here again, and I'm going to paste it into this particular section, and I'm going to call this message 3 dollar symbol here. Then also I'm going to create a message 3 variable here as well, and set that equals to empty. Set that to empty. Then let's scroll down back to where we were. Okay, now the last thing we're going to do here is an else statement. So if all of these validations passed, then under the X section we want to log the user into the system. Okay, I'm going to log the user in. So to do that, first of all, I'm going to quickly create a query here. So we're going to create the database, to make sure that the password and every other thing exists. Okay, so SQL will be select all from admin, select all from admin here username is equals to the username variable. Okay, so why I'm doing this is because I want to create a section at this level. So I'm going to add queries here, and this should be of course equal mysqli underscore query. Remember, this takes connection and SQL, that's the query itself. Okay, so if this query is successful, we're going to say if query, then I'm going to create another result variable here, and I will set it to SQLi underscore fetch array query. Okay, then now I'm going to open the section variable here. So section is a section with the name of username. So this should be equal to results username. Okay, the username of the admin that we're fetching from the database. All right. Okay, so now once this happens, then we're going to log the user in. Okay, now here, if this happens, message 3, we're going to bring it back again, and message 3 will now equal something different. So first of all, we're going to create a div here. Very quickly, the div there. I'm going to bring this down a bit. Then let's move up. Now we're going to add a bootstrap class here with alert the sources. Okay, allow the sources, and I'm going to create a p tag here inside the div, and I'm going to write login successful. Okay, now within here I'm going to open another span, and the span is going to have text that says redirecting, and I'll add a class, an inline style to the span. I'm going to give it a color. I'm going to give it a color of 4B7F80. So 4B7F80. That is fine. Then the next thing I'm going to do here, okay, then this is fine. So I will add another p tag here very quickly, just below this one. Let's have another p tag. Okay, now inside this p I'm going to have image, and the source, I believe we have an images folder inside the admin directory. Okay, I'm going to look for that image and add it up from here. Image you're looking for is loader. Okay, let us quickly do this. So images slash the file I'm looking for there is loader.gif, although that doesn't exist, but we're going to get that image and put it there. And the auth, I was going to write loading. Okay, loading image. Okay, and then below the div or the p tag, we're going to add the method tag to redirect the user to the login page, or the dashboard rather. So content, I'm just going to make that 3 seconds. Okay, and we are directing to dashboard.php, although this file does not exist now. I'm going to be creating it later on. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do here is to echo. We're going to echo the message tree somewhere. So I'm going to echo it at the top. Let's scroll down quickly. Okay, so at the top of, but below here, below this section, I'm going to open PHP, and let's echo message tree there. Okay, alright, so first of all, I'm going to quickly get that particular image. Let's really minimize this. Let's try and get that image, the loader.gif image I want to use. So go to downloads, loader. OA. Okay. Alright, I think this is the image. So I'm going to quickly copy this. I'll copy this and of course this PC. Let's go to where we want to paste it. XAMPP, ktdocs, and of course the name of the folder is result checking, admin, images. So I'm going to paste this here, and remember we gave it loader, so we're going to rename the file to loader. Okay, so we'll come back here and this should be resolved now. So let's quickly refresh our page and see if everything is working as expected. Okay, so so first of all I'm going to try to log in with remember we are checking this. If not login check, this cannot be, password cannot be empty. Let's check this particular message. So please double check your details. Alright, please double check your details. Alright, so back to our browser. So let's maybe log in with a username that does not exist, maybe admin23, and try to log in with this. So let's do this first. This is admin23. Maybe I enter the right password. My password was admin123. So try to log in. So it tells me please double check your details. Alright, so but what if I log in with the correct information now, or correct details? Admin123. So it tells me login successful, redirecting. Okay, now object not found. This is because we've not created the dashboard.php file yet. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and of course in the next video we're going to start working on the admin dashboard problem. Alright, so I'll see you guys in the next video.